Hi, welcome or welcome back. I am Brittany. I read loads of romantasy books and honestly just really good other books. In today's video, we are going to recap all the books that I read in the month of April, which ones are actually worth your times, my ratings, how I read them, and pick my number one recommendation for the entire month. So hopefully this will help you organize your TBR a little bit better and know which books are worth your time. So without further ado, let's chat about some of these books. I ended up reading 10 books in the month of April. A couple of them I listened to, mostly romantasy books. I did throw in one thriller in there, which was so good, by the way. And just some absolute bangers for this month. I know. Hi, baby. Good girl. Nice sit down. The only thriller that I ended up reading in the month of April was It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. And oh my god, I have not really been in a thriller mood lately because I burnt myself off on thrillers. A year ago I was reading like, I think 100, and so I'm like, I just need a break. This one was so good. It was so incredibly fast-paced. The story kept me hooked and engaged literally the entire time. And the storytelling in here is told from two different points of view at different timelines. And I just thought the storytelling was so unique and well done. It's one of those books where you think you have it figured out and then nope, you do not. I do 100% recommend this book. This was easy, a 4 or 5-star thriller for me. And I loved it. I also listened to the audio partly on this one, and the audio is really well done as well. Next up, I did a reread of Shield of Sparrows, and if you're new here, Shield of Sparrows is one of my favorite romantasy books that I have read. I love Devney Perry. I just love her writing. I love the plot, the pacing, the story, the settings, the monsters, everything. So I did do a full reread in order for Rites of the Starling that came out. So this is the second book. There is a third that is going to be coming out. And this book is so different from this book. Night and day difference. This one is so much more emotional. You get introduced to some new POVs in here. Obviously, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but this one is a bit more emotional. There's some journey vibes. There are some people that say they did not like the new POV. I loved it. I loved the depth and the emotional arc that it brought to the story. However, I did think a couple of them were a little predictable. I still love this book. The ending had me sobbing, but I love it. I'm so excited to continue this series and see where it goes. I thought it was just so clever and well done. I had such high expectations for this book because I read the synopsis and it sounded just so unique. I've been a little bit burnt out on romantasies lately, so I was looking for something that was so unique, and this one did hit the unique mark. So basically our FMC is an avid reader, and she wakes up in the city of one of her favorite books that she's ever read. So she is now in a portal fantasy herself, essentially, and she basically pretends to be a seer because she knows what happens because she's read all the books in detail and is using that to her benefit to go through this book. The first, probably the first quarter of the book, loved. The middle was a little bit slow, and it is one of those books where you really do have to pay attention because there's a lot of characters, a lot of things are happening. Do I recommend this book? Yes. Do I recommend this book if you're just going in and looking for a vibes read? No, it's definitely more of an epic fantasy, but the premise and the plot was so unique and wonderful that it was an overall good time. And the ending did come together. Probably the 50% mark, it picked back up and I was hooked back in. So just a little bit of pacing issues for me personally, probably not for anybody else, but do recommend this book. I loved it. For another fast-paced book that I devoured is Starside by Alex Aster. This is the third Alex Aster book that I have read, and if you love fast-paced romantasy books with a true enemies to lovers, this is one. The best quote in this book is "Hate me harder," and it's accurate. This is very good. So basically in the story we follow our FMC who wants to go over to Starside to basically win magic, and then you can do whatever you want with that magic. All the magic is kept in Starside and is controlled by the gods, and so she wants to not only win the magic but go on a quest to basically kill the gods. So I loved it. There's really not one slow part in this book. I also read a Requiem of Fallen Stars, and if you like books with a dark academia vibe, this was very much it. I will say I wanted to love this book more. Not that it's a bad book, but just for me, I'm just I've already mentioned, a romantasy reading slump. So a lot of these books are feeling like just recycled. This one, I did really enjoy it, and I still 100% recommend it. I just have felt like I've read it before. But did I still enjoy it? Will I still recommend it? Yes. For a dystopian book, I read A Stark Few, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the beginning of this book was pretty depressing. I like darker books because I think they're interesting to me, but this one was a little bit depressing to where I almost ended up putting it down because I'm like, I'm not in the mood for that type of darkness, and I ended up buying the audio and listening to the audio, and I was doing it while I was running around my house doing chores, but I was also hooked in doing chores and wanted to see where the story goes, and the ending literally had my mouth open. The ending was amazing, which made the whole book better to me. I loved the romance in this story though. If you've read like To Cage a Wild Bird, which is another dystopian, it has similar vibes. Do 100% recommend, but just be prepared going in. It is a bit more depressing starting out. I also read 2 Jordan Stephanie Gray books, and I loved both of these. This one I liked more than this one, but I like them both. Wicked Sea has mermaids, a sorcerer, warlocks. Just it had a different vibe for a romantasy. I loved the banter in here. The banter was just amazing. The story is also so fast paced because I was just crushing out these books. I just wanted something fast that would keep me entertained, and this did not disappoint. Loved it. Bitten is got a werewolf vibe with tons of court politics. Also pretty fast paced. Do enjoy. This one's a little bit more YA, and this one is more like new adult. This one has some spice, so take with that what you will. The ending was amazing though. Do recommend both of them. The standalone book that I picked up this month was Between Tides and Thunder, and oh my god, I am obsessed with this book. When a standalone does it right, it really just, it hits. This story was just so well done. I loved the magic in here. I loved the romance. I loved everything. I do not want to give anything away, but you will be shocked by this book, is all I'm going to say. If you like fantasy romance, if you like books, basically our MMC is betrothed to another kingdom's prince, but the person that picks her up is the prince's brother, who is a dark commander, and things are just happening on their journey. But it's not what you think, and I'm not going to say anything else besides 5-star read. Go to it immediately. Go read this book immediately. Two other books I'm in the middle of, but I haven't yet finished, are Until I Die by Deidra Duncan and Yesteryear, and very different vibe books. Very different vibes. Love them both so far. This one is like a trad wife influencer that basically goes back in time, so very interesting premise. This is a dark dystopian romance set in a new America with a corrupt government. Very dark, but I'm not that way through. I'm about 30% through this book, and I am loving the dynamic between the FMC and the MMC. And the last book that I read was Worthy of Fate by A. Caudle. And I read this one on my Kindle because I do not have a physical copy yet. However, it is coming from Allurial. And I love this book. If you like things like Melissa K. Rorich, Lady of Darkness series, Reign of Shadows and Endings, books like that have a lot of lore going on to it, meddling gods, interesting relationship, mythical creatures, you will eat this book up. There does have some spice. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that is where we are. As far as my #1 recommendation for the month, I don't know. I read so many good books that they're all just for different reasons. So I guess we'll break it up like this. If you want a fast-paced thriller, definitely read this one. For a standalone, 100% read this. These books are so fast-paced that if you are just in the mood for a vibes read that's fast-paced and will keep you hooked and engaged throughout the entire book, pick up one of these. If you want an emotional journey with depth and just literally everything, Rites of the Starling. If I had to pick one book for the month, I think it would be Rites, just because it was so emotional to me, and I love that emotional aspect. Sorry, she wanted to go bark while I'm trying to film. But thank you so much for watching. If you plan on adding any of these books to your TBR, please drop in the comments and let me know. And let's stay connected. Thanks. See you in the next video.